Alright, we're back. So, yet another finger wagger down. This one seemed to have a name, but died before we could really figure out anything about who he was, or what he did, or what was going on there. He got one round, and then died. And
As
then
it should be.
the water elementals kind of drug on a little bit from there, so... after surviving the water elementals, Lumo has acquired a rod of magical origins powered with the energy of water.
Okay, well, I guess that's it for in this room. Izzy just kind of shakes her hair to get some of the water off.
It felt good to be in water again.
Oh, yes. Yep. Aside from the
Drowning.
force, yeah.
Yeah, to be in...
The intelligent water was not so good.
Yeah, inside of the water elemental, not so nice. Inside of the nice, clear, crisp, cool water, nice contrast to the desert we've been in for a couple of weeks now, effectively. Since this Tenero is pretty much mostly desert, also.
Mm-hmm. Should we see what else we can find?
Yes.
Alright, so at that, Izzy's gonna make her way back out to the main hall and start sneaking further down it to see what's there.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and keep
Another
just out of
guidance.
sight of Izzy.
You're gonna pick up that torch again, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
It's still burning for a little while.
Oh yeah. Well, we're probably in there for like what, 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah, not much longer than that.
I'm also gonna take the rod back out and use the detect evil and good spell.
Okay. Alright, so now we've come back into the main hallway and we started creeping forward a little bit. We're going to start getting some more visibility. Basically, this really long hallway that goes down at a pretty steep angle ends into two doors that are kind of side by side with a little bit of stone between them. One, bronze, very similar to the door going into that has the Asmodeus symbol on it. This one does not. And then a door made entirely of bone and looks like bits of body. All kind of held together on the left.
Okay. There's no symbol or any. Are there symbols and things like that on the door, or just like body parts and a solid bronze?
Yeah, the solid bronze door looks just like it's like the same construction as the other door, except for it just doesn't have the Asmodeus symbol on it. It does. The other one is just the bone doors made entirely of body parts and mostly bone. By the way, ping and evil like intense, like it's extremely intense. It's off-putting in your perceptions. It's very intense, so intense. The door of bone, that is.
The door itself, or like what's behind it?
The door itself.
And anything from the other one?
No.
The bronze door will probably block the spell, but can I detect anything behind the bone door?
Yeah, so you're definitely not picking any radiance coming up through the to the bronze door at all, or even through the thick stone that's the walls of the cavern. The bone door itself, I mean, it's like literally staring at the sun in intensity of the magical auras coming off of it, and so there's just absolutely no way if there was something behind it that you could actually see, the overwhelming nature of this would just dull out anything else that would be visible.
Okay, yeah, she's just kind of grimacing as she gets closer and closer to the door.
And it's like I mean, you even have to like squint, like you got one eye closed and one is just barely open, just so that you can see, just details of the door with the aura itself.
Okay, so if possible, I'd like to cancel that spell and use detect magic instead.
Okay. Similarly, there is a massive aura of magic coming from the door itself. It's also extremely intense. Maybe not quite that of the evil aura that was emanating from it. You get no aura from the bronze door.
Okay. Well, for now, I'm gonna focus on the bronze door. I'd like to check it over, see if there's locks, any indication of traps, or anything like that.
It doesn't look like there's any indication of traps. Because it is a solid sheet of door. But there is like the key is. It doesn't look like there's not like a lock hanging on the outside like a padlock. It looks like the door itself is made up of large amounts of mechanisms. And so it itself is like one giant gear cog lock to itself, and there is a keyhole that is pretty massive. So in normal keyhole, something that a finger or two finger width, at most for a big door padlock. This it's like almost like a giant crowbar kind of size thing that would go in to unlock this particular door.
Huh.
For a key for this door.
Okay. So do I think it's something that my thieves' tools would still work on? Or would I need to use something larger like a dagger?
Yeah, this is not something that intricate little tools would do much for.
And there's no magic at all coming off of it, so I don't think it's like shielded or anything. Okay. I want to try and pick the lock, or like see if it's open at least.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it's blocked.
Yeah, I assumed, but I just thought I'd stipulate that.
Yeah. So it is. So it is in fact locked. And as you kind of look in and around, I mean, you can kind of see some of the gears and mechanisms right at the edge of where it goes in. Roll. So you have an intelligence based.
Yeah, intelligence thieves tools.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. That part, I think this would work.
Ooh, that
on.
was a bad roll. Oh, but I have my
Guidance.
bloop.
So this particular door is definitely like on the tinkering level. Like, remember your intrigue with the tinkering toy in the very first town that y'all entered. So you're like, ooh, some of these mechanisms that do cool things that you couldn't really explain at the time. It's a similar sense that you're getting from this door is that there is some kind of mechanisms in here that interact, but it's not like your normal pins and levers and like a regular lock works. So it's not just like a single turn, like getting something to click in place to fit, to move something out of the way so that'll make it happen. There is so many interacting pieces. It's like opening up a very old pocket watch and looking on the inside and going,
Okay, well, I'm gonna open it up to the group before I start prodding at it. I'll turn around and say, "Has anybody ever seen anything like this before?" Still fairly quietly. This isn't like a normal lock at all. I can try and see what I can do with it, but
I would assume I haven't. I wouldn't know what to roll.
That's a good question. Let's just do an intelligence check. There's a straight intelligence check. So some of the very large city or city-state kind of complexes have very large, intricate interworkings of doors, and locks, and definitely tinker-oriented. You've seen particularly dwarves and gnomes in some of their homelands have like some of their vaults and treasures. So doors like have locking mechanisms that are very intricate in fashion. As far as actually knowing how they operate, that's outside of your scope. I mean, I imagine similar here. Especially coming from royalty, you've seen the vaults in from the palace, and some of the more prominent doors have very cool, intricate locking mechanisms inside the door themselves for security purposes. But before now, that really hadn't been like how they operate. Just not something that you have really cared too much about.
I've seen them, but I do not know how they work. I've always had a key.
well, I mean, we could go back and see if we can check that pile full of shiny things. If there's a key, it might be in there.
And see if my gold is gone.
We could do that.
My gold gone.
Gold is gone.
I think we could lure this thing out. Set up a trap.
Well,
Okay.
I can go wait over here. Or I can just put my torch out. Probably.
I mean, Steen's pretty shiny if we take some of the cloth off of him.
What? Steen does not have a sheen. Alright.
No, but your armor does.
I think I could get him to come wherever I wanted. And I just kind of tap on my mithril.
Dean Sheen, the Willow machine.
I mean, I'm clean now after that elemental. But
That being said, he does seem perfectly happy with coin.
mm-hmm.
Could maybe have someone sneak.
Gold.
So my bear never did anything, did it? He missed it through him, I would assume, but wouldn't know.
I don't know that you would know if it did anything or not.
Yeah, I don't either.
Let me read that one more time. The Guardians of Faith.
Spirit
Do
of
you have any, or
Spirit of Faith.
Spirit of Faith.
Guardian of Faith. Jesus, sorry. I'm just gonna start referring to always these two spells as Spirit Guardians of Faith. Yeah,
Yeah. You don't have like a perceptual link with that thing. It just stays there and guards that spot against anything that's not anything that's hostile to you. It does disappear after it does a certain amount of damage. It's still there. That's about the best that.
Okay.
That's about the best you got from that.
Yeah, I just believe with gold, maybe any jewelry or anything we have, we can line up and somewhere where we want to have it come through, and we jump it essentially.
Yeah, I'll start making a pile of stuff. I have a few just mundane daggers that I can put out. I'll put out the empty bottles because it had some mirrors and stuff in there that were not necessarily valuable but still shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I give a handful of coin.
I've got a longsword.
I think just from hearing what the acolytes were talking, and the little things were getting stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Sword might be too big.
Yeah, I'll tell them the kind of stuff that I saw in the pile as well.
Yeah, I mean there were. I think if I recall, we had talked about there were even like pieces of broken mirror and just shards of glass, and as well as coin and a spoon and much random things like that.
I mean, I guess we could
He's a little mermaid?
have a trail
Pretty
come out
much.
to about here. That way we can hide behind here. See, and then we could all jump out from there. Maybe get a surprise round. Although I don't have a lot as far as spells left.
Nope.
Health-wise, we're not too bad though. I give Izzy a potion of healing to take.
No?
Yeah, you look the most banged up.
Oh, yeah, probably can drink a potion of healing.
Oh, not the greater healing. I grabbed the wrong one. Although I don't know what would keep it from just. I guess I couldn't carry any of its things when it's as a mist. I don't know how he does this. I don't know what's going to keep him from just running away from us.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever fought mist before. But
One thing to note is while you were
we
in
just
there,
fought water.
it didn't look like mist while you were in there. It definitely looked.
No, it
more
looked like coin.
It looked
right?
like coin at first. So it was like camouflaged, it was like the blob camouflaged inside of coin. There was actual coin and it that looked like the pile of coins. And then as it stood up, it kind of let go of its coins, and you could like chameleon changed, and then it looked more like Swamp Thing than coins. But it was definitely amorphous, just like those water elementals, and how they change their shape. And
Okay, I'll tell them that then as well, that it was less like mist and more like a blob.
yeah, one of the acolytes did describe it as it looked like it was mist, but it could have been you know, they never. It's not like anybody ever really looked at it. It was always he was always talking about. It was just like the very hint of something in the edge of his perception, and he would turn and then he wouldn't see it, or he would think he saw eyes and then they'd just go away, or
It's a boogie monster.
yeah.
Do we want to take a little bit of time first just to catch our breath, or what are you guys thinking? See if we can lure it out now.
Yeah,
Might as well try to lure it out now.
yeah, I guess. Yeah.
All right. Tell me when you're ready then.
Well,
Where do we want to lure it to?
so I was thinking if we go back here, because we can hide behind this.
Our buddies are in there right now still, I think.
I don't know where they went.
We could lead him down to the Emperor room.
Yeah, the Emperor room might work. Do we want to set up some torches in there?
Probably best to sit in the dark if we're laying an ambush.
Yeah, but some of you can't see in the dark.
You can always light a torch
That's what I'm saying.
I think
after we start the ambush. Always turn the lights on when you throw a party to surprise.
at just someone point where they want to take him to.
Yeah, I mean, the Emperor's Cave is going to be the best one
Yeah, I
for
think
an
in here.
ambush. One, because it would be easier to trap them. And two,
Well, okay. Well, if it's right here, he can see in the cave, and if we're hiding back here, he can see us. There's not really a hard corner. If we're here, as soon as he comes there, he can see us. Which I don't know. We have some speedy people here, so maybe it won't be that big of an issue.
just right there where Izzy is, right there. That big room.
Yes, and he'll be coming down this way. He'll be like looking straight at her, walking down this way.
Yeah, we
I
can
guess
hide
that'll
around
work.
here.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying we jump him when he's at the mouth there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you jump on him?
Yeah, so if we put our pile of stuff kind of there-ish. And then maybe, like, to start it off, Lumo's pretty quick and he can fit through that crevice pretty easily. Maybe he can toss a coin into the room where it'll make some noise and get some attention, and then book it back through this way.
Just leave a trail of coins.
Yeah,
Can I make a small suggestion?
Of course.
Well, I mean, he would be coming out of that little hole, right? And it's we could hide behind it. I could make a minor illusion of a wall we could hide behind, and just put the pile in the hallway.
I would like him to. If we're right there, he could go back through the hole very quickly, and then we couldn't. This way we at least maybe able to chase him. Maybe. However, if you can put that minor illusion up when he comes through here, and maybe it's not smart enough to know that's just an illusion, maybe he won't try to escape this way. Maybe he'll think it's trapped.
Ooh,
So I think it's a good idea, though, the illusion.
that's a good idea, Car. Have you done this before?
So where do you want me to put the wall?
Like probably where you're standing. After it gets through and we jump it, you can put the illusion there, and maybe it'd be enough.
I can do that.
So good idea.
So we know it has it's obviously pretty sneaky, because literally no one but the one acolyte has ever seen it. So we have to keep that in when we look at how we're gonna keep an eye out for it. But also, where do we know it came from? That's another thing. Just to, like, if it's that way, we don't have. You probably can assume it has certain abilities just because of what it came from. So we're like for instance, we
Like
know
where
that,
it physically came from, or how it was made, where it came from.
yeah, how it was made, kind of thing. So we know the Emperor was actually made from a wizard, right? Like, they basically said that a wizard and a halfling went in, and then the Emperor came out, right?
Right. Did they say how it was made? They just
not only that that one acolyte only mused that it was something that the Emperor was doing, an experiment, trying to find new powers, and then so he thinks that's where it came from. But that's all. But that's all we know, really.
Can I do an insight check on that or something? Because I'm
On
if Izzy can figure out what that might mean, because I guess I'm wondering if it then would have some connection to the Emperor, if it wouldn't come in this room or something.
I don't know if that's anything that you can glean.
Okay.
Even, based on your conversation. You could come up. Like, I don't know about like something to roll. You could think that. That might be something you believe based on the things you've learned, but I don't know if that's anything that you can know.
Like me, Degra. That's just me musing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's something that Izzy would think. But yeah, that's with the information I have, this seems like an okay plan.
Was those poison things you were dealing with? Was that coming from the mist at all, or was that just the poison thing that was there?
He had some kind of spray that activated them, but he didn't actually touch any of us. He made the mushroom stalks come to life, and then the mushroom stalks were kind of defending the area, and the spiders came out. But I don't think the mist blob thing actually touched any of us, if I remember correctly.
I go ahead and wrap something around my mouth, I guess, just in case.
It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, you got really close to it touching when you went to grab that coin, but just right before you touched the coin, you saw it start to move, and you just bounced back. But that's That's the closest anything got to from it specifically got to touching you.
Yeah, I'll follow suit with Car and wrap my scarf around my face just as a precaution. But otherwise, what do you guys think?
Sounds good, I believe.
I'll kind of help these bigger, louder guys hide too. Like show them, since we have some time to prepare, I'll be like, no, just crouch down like this. Yep, just shift that. Yep, okay, there we go.
See how it is. Well, I'm totally gonna use my good old merge with stone ability here and cast pass without a trace. So
Ooh.
yeah, show me how to hide. I am a rock.
As long as you don't move.
Well, yeah, rock, not boulder. I don't roll down a hill.
Okay, so we're gonna pass that a trace on everyone around you. So that gives everyone plus 10 to their stealth checks.
Yes.
So everyone type in 10 in their modifier, and then assuming that we laid a trail of coins, is that correct to this locale? Okay. What about? Are we throwing out like 20 gold? Piece of candy. From the entrance.
Piece of candy.
Okay, and then so everyone put 10 in the modifier and roll me a stealth check.
Boom! I'm a good student.
Can't see me in car.
God, that still doesn't even really get close to Izzy with her 15.
Can we just say mine's 1 and get over
that's
it?
Technically a 20 on Lumos.
Yep.
Oh, look at
Holy shit! What?
Look at that double 18. Okay, so we're all gonna sit here.
And while we're walking around, we leave no footprints or anything. No traces of our passage.
Okay, so I'm gonna need
My torch isn't on.
everyone to also roll a perception check. So we are hiding, and we are reasonably confident we are doing that well.
Oh my goodness, people. Yeah. 18's my number.
Also, I have my Rod of Alertness out and am detecting... Wait, did I see detect magic from the monster? Or is it just from the stuff inside the pile? I can't remember what we said.
You did not see anything on the monster that was magic.
Okay, so I'm going to use my detect evil and good as well. I don't know if it is an evil thing or not, but can't hurt.
Okay. Click advantage on that. All right. And how long would we be willing to wait? Like, if we were sitting here and 4 hours later, you hadn't seen anything, is 4 hours when you'd be like, okay, maybe he's not coming? Or 4 hour, or is it like 10 hours? Or like,
Long enough for a short rest?
Or we've already taken a short rest.
You did take a short rest. There's no limit on the number of short rests you can take. I just don't know that you can be resting while also
and
being
actively
and actively trying to watch for actively on watch for.
That's fair.
I'd be willing to wait until it was supper time.
So
That
the
sounds
first
good.
stomach growl broke stealth.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And she would have the biggest stomach growl. She's the smallest person.
How long does Pass Without a Trace last?
Only an hour. So let's hope this guy's really greedy.
Well, he picked up the one coin pretty well.
Yeah, within like
Pretty
10
quick.
minutes.
10, 15 minutes, yeah. That first coin, definitely. He did not do well on that. Alright, the first hour passes. The Pass Without a Trace fades. The coin stays in its place at this end of the trail. I need everyone to roll another set of stealth checks.
Oh, man, that first set was so good.
Yeah, I know. And it's over.
Fuck, shit, hell.
Oh, no.
Wait. Sorry, can
Car can reroll that. Ugh.
Car can, but I can't.
Still higher than mine.
It's usually as a group too, right? So I mean, like,
Average.
it's more like when I do like a group skill check like this, I kind of look at, so I have a DC in mind, then I say how many successes, how many failures, and then kind of go off of that on what happens, right? So one person failing doesn't necessarily mean much, you know. Even if they fail really badly. Although 3 people failing really badly was a guaranteed that wasn't happening. But
Yeah. I'm kind of intermittently recasting my detect evil thing too.
oh yeah. Luckily that one doesn't require a command word or anything that would normally give away. It doesn't have a verbal component, which is counter to stealth. It is just an at will through the item, so that's really nice. Eight hours pass,
8?
and the coin stays in its place.
Ugh. Well, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Well, should we pick up the coins and try a different passage? Tomorrow morning?
We'll have to split the group. We'll go in there.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else for it.
Well, if we're done, I want to follow the trail coin back and see if.
Yeah, I want to see if there is a trail coin and we were just blind.
Yeah, I rolled a d8 for how many hours passed, and I got an 8 on the
Oof.
last one.
Oof. Well, I'm gonna light up my torch. Whoosh. Let there be light.
Talk about night blindness, or
Yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah.
literally, driving at night, and then someone, out in the middle of nowhere, and then someone comes through with high beams on.
I thaumaturgy and dim his torch.
Almost like Hangover, as far as all that goes. So yeah, so you, what were we gonna do? So now we are actually evening. We haven't heard anything. Haven't. Go ahead and roll a set of perceptions just in case. I didn't do a second set. I only did the second stealth. I really don't think that you're gonna match it, but we'll see. Got a really good roll on his stealth check. Which I don't think any of you can. Yeah, none of y'all are capable of getting high enough.
Oh, wow.
He's
Well, if we fight him, we gotta sleep first, and we're gonna split the party. So
Mhm.
just figure out where we want to set camp or leave.
Otherwise, we'll just set camp right here. Or we can go use the beds. We can go use the beds.
so Luna's gonna go check the coin trail.
I'm gonna follow them.
I'm collecting my stuff.
Just dragging behind it. It's not really paying that much
The
attention.
last coin is right there. Everything after that coin is gone.
Maybe he's.
Yeah, he rolled really poor for his first stealth check. But y'all weren't y'all had pretty good perception checks the first round, but he wasn't close enough to actually sense on the with what we had. And on the second one, he rolled a 32 for stealth.
Oof.
And then rolled a really high rolled a 23 or 24 perception when he came around, and so yeah, it was like it was 5 failures on the stealth. He got really lucky on that second round. Piece of candy. Yeah, so like on the first one, so I was just looking back. So he has a plus 18 to stealth.
Wow.
Plus 1 8 plus 1 8. But he rolled a natural 1 the first time, but it didn't matter because we weren't in a position to see to perceive him.
That's twice as good as my stealth.
That's it. So, you've already started acquiring attributes of something else that you were interested in. You know, someone else. But now, you know, maybe you have something else to seek after.
Yeah, so I think we should go to the beds.
I would be more comfortable with the hut, personally.
Oh no, we could cast the hut, but we'd still get to use the beds.
Like one.
Well, it would only fit one bed.
The sleeping bags. It's how big is it?
The hut's not very big at all.
10-foot radius.
Alright, you might fit 2 beds.
It fits in a venturing party, but they have to get comfortable with one another when they sleep in it.
Yeah.
We could also set it right outside this hole. That way we know it doesn't go anywhere.
We don't know it's in there. It
Okay,
could be anywhere.
Then
We could just
No.
set it here, and then on our watch, we'll watch if it comes in and out.
True.
Whatever you think is best, Bijou. It's your spell.
Just glad I have enough left in me to make it.
Me too.
Don't you guys think here would be good, and we can watch the northern side?
This will be obvious if anybody comes out of the doors.
Well, we just make it look like the wall. We just make it look like the walls here, and it's about as wide as the hall.
Yeah, it's just a large dome in their otherwise empty hallway is the only thing.
Yep. Is there something you want it to look like?
I guess as much like the stone as possible.
Stone it is.
Okay, so we're gonna try to rest.
Get
for
a
the
long
evening.
rest.
When we rest, or before we rest, I want to give my arcane ring to Izzy.
To me?
Hmm.
That copper wasn't worth that much, you know.
It was worth very much.
And I put my torch out and everything. I'll light it on my watch.
Okay, so we are going to try to rest in the main hallway of the wizard's alcove.
Just roll your dice.
Alright, so we're going to try to sleep in shifts in a regular watch order.
Yeah, whatever we had last time.
Okay. Alright, Lumo. I'm gonna need you to roll a perception check. Oh yeah, you don't have dark vision either.
I was working to rectify that.
Hmm. Okay, well, we might have to start something and then pause it and get back to it, as Lumo's trying to keep an ear out. So, listening for footfalls, listening for the sound of anything scraping, anything at all. I can't really see even his hand in front of his face in the pitch black darkness that is the cavern. We can have some light on the inside, but he couldn't see outside of the bubble, so to speak. Okay, so at the beginning of your...
Yeah.
Okay, so at the beginning of your watch, you're going to do that? Okay, so you put those on, and then that's 120 foot, isn't it? That one?
Yep.
That's like
Yep.
the double side.
Yeah.
Okay, so since you so that actually that changes everything. All right, well, for just it does require attunement, doesn't it? Well, you would have had time with it.
I wouldn't have been able to do anything with it until I gave away the ring, because I had 3 items before.
Yeah, so you have to have at least a minimum of a short rest in order to attune. Yeah, so I don't think you could have it on yet until after your rest
We wouldn't have had time while doing supper and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's not putting it on when other people are around.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna have time to make effect yet. Until you've had it on and had some rest period.
Mhm.
If it was at the end of your watch, it would have taken effect. But it is somewhere in the middle of your watch. You do hear, even with your 14, you do hear something from far down the tunnel that sounds a little bit like metal scraping on metal. Just a faint, almost like two swords clash, not clashing, but like after they clash, and then when as they're moving and sliding and like scraping against one another, like that. You get a faint hear of that as you're looking down the tunnel, trying to listen.
From the south, from the north, what's our direction?
From it, what would be our north here? Yeah, from our north.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to do about that other than hone in on it.
Do you guys have a light on inside of the bubble, knowing that it wouldn't go to the outside?
I thought Steen said he was
No.
lighting one.
No,
No?
I put my torch out and was going to light it for my watch because they are limited to an hour. So
Okay.
my vision is limited.
Yeah, roll me another perception check with disadvantage. I mean, you are trying to key into sounds, but without the visual aid. Yeah, you're trying to hone in. You don't hear any other sounds. As you kind of sit and listen for a couple of minutes, nothing's happening. You maybe even still hear just the faintest amount of the water sound from the fountains from far off, but it's super faint. Most of that echoing across the little tunnel is very intense, but outside of the tunnel, it's like the signals distort one another and cancel them out to a degree. So there's just outside the tunnel, it's very muffled. Inside the tunnel, it's blaringly loud. Okay, well, a few more moments pass, and you hear a voice from down the hallway say, "What in the hells?" as the bubble around you falls. And we'll have to stop there because I have to build that encounter.
That's good.
Ah!
Oh, he wasn't.
You hear you hear the "what in the hills." You hear and what sounds like arcane power word that you've heard before in that kind of draconic language that you've heard others cast, and then the bubble around you fades.
Someone walked into a bubble.
No, it's from down the hallway. No, they didn't.
Yeah,
walk
we
in.
were pretty visible.
And of course, I rolled a 98 on whether or not there would be consequences to sleeping in the main hallway.
So we learned that never listen to a sleepy bijou.
Yeah, it was right in the middle of the hallway. Seen one of these beds. Just saying.
But yeah, you've heard no sight or sound of the bone or the bone power ghoul, that amorphous ghoul, since other than the missing coins. You haven't heard anything from it, but yeah, there is definitely a new entity now, and coming from one of the doors
South of us, right?
From the north.
North. So came to the door.
Somebody did not report back after completing their task.
Wah-wah.
All right. Well, yeah. So I was definitely not anticipating pulling that encounter in yet. It had not been built. So
Look at
yeah.
that.
Fight was fun today.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It was I don't know, it was a little different.